There are a lot of stereotypes out there in the real world, and when it comes to Dragon Ball, Piccolo has often been a victim of such stereotypes, and as we have all quietly believed, there is a notion that persists in the back of our minds that Piccolo is the black guy of Dragon Ball. But what reasons are there to make such stereotype relevant to a fictional alien? And how does this relate to real life? Well, joining me today is the perfect man to do this video in SSJ Carter. How you doing today, bro?
Bruh, I'm ready to turn up, bruh.
Absolutely. And we are going to give you the 7 reasons as to why Piccolo is the black guy of Dragon Ball. So stay tuned.
Coming in at number 7 is swag, cause we all know that Piccolo is the swag master, baby, of Dragon Ball. He got magic clothes, literally. You see him like Goku or Gohan, anybody could be butt naked, and he can literally just make clothes materialize onto their bodies. Like, who can do that?
Exactly,
Ooh.
man. I mean, even if you go back to the episode in Dragon Ball Z where we have that filler moment where Goku and Piccolo were having those driving lessons, I mean, Piccolo was the first Dragon Ball character to really swag up that snapback up in that episode, man. And he was looking like Will Smith from Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Bro, the snapback was perfectly turned backwards, bro. It was beautiful.
And he had one of the best dub lines ever where he said,
"Your wife got them for me out of your closet."
And on top of that, guys, I mean, you can't just leave it there with the snapback. I mean, you gotta look at that cape, guys. I mean, Carter, when you look at Piccolo's cape, man, although it looks super corny and cheesy, like he's like this random green Martian manhunter looking like alien superhero,
yes,
he carries it, bro. Like, that cape is the definition of Dragon Ball swag. Look at the way it moves in the wind.
In the wind, like no matter what nobody says, they can say it's corny or whatever. Why you got this stupid cape? Why you look like you got NFL shoulder pads on? Shut up, because once the wind hits it perfectly, it's just flowing in, it's fluttering. It's literally fluttering in the wind, bro.
And when we first saw him fly onto the planet Namek to save Gohan and Krillin from Frieza, the way he just teleported in with such swag, with that cape moving to be like this superhero to bring peace to his people, really gives Piccolo the ultimate level of Dragon Ball swag. So that, coupled with that head garment that he manages to rock off, Piccolo is the swag master of Dragon Ball. Unquestionably.
Definitely.
But as we move on from that, Carter, we gotta talk about one of the most general things a lot of black people can relate to with this black stereotype, that Piccolo stands out in the crowd. Now, when you look at the fact that Piccolo is green and has antennas on top of his head, he kinda looks different from everybody else, and if you follow that whole tall black guy stereotype, Piccolo perfectly fulfills this with just having green skin. And when you compare him to all of these Saiyan and human-like looking characters, Piccolo's always been the one guy who just looked different from everybody else, which relates a lot to black people who look very different from people in a predominantly white field.
Yeah, and also, like, it's because he's kind of introverted, you know? He really doesn't like to be around anybody. Every time you see Piccolo, whenever there's not a conflict or something going on, he's by himself, he's on a mountain or something, meditating, he's just standing there, literally just looking off into the distance. Like, what is he looking for? In my personal opinion, he's looking for Namekos.
Right, and if I were to say one more thing, guys, the perfect example to illustrate how much Piccolo stands out would be to go back to the Buu Saga, where we see everybody going around Earth to ask for help to donate to the Spirit Bomb, and how Piccolo wasn't getting any donations because of how weird he looked in society. It was kind of like a racial stereotype for people not to donate because of how Piccolo looked. So in terms of appearance, Piccolo by himself is a black stereotype.
Okay, now that brings us to number 5. Piccolo is like a black father figure. When he raised Gohan, he showed tough love like most black fathers do. And giving an example of that is when Gohan and Piccolo were training just to unlock Gohan's potential. Piccolo literally grabbed Gohan by his head and picked him up in the air. Gohan screaming and crying. And Piccolo's just like, no, look, I'm gonna throw you at this mountain and you're going to unlock your potential. I wanna see that power inside you. I just feel like if black fathers' kids had power hidden inside them like Gohan did, I feel like there'll be no limits to how tough they would be on their kids to make them as strong as possible, kind of like how Piccolo did. What you think, bro?
Right, I think that that's a great example you bring up with Carter, and I think another example that could add on to your point here would have to be going into the Buu Saga, where Goku specifically felt that Piccolo would be the best character to train Goten and Trunks on learning how to do the fusion dance. And when you look at, you know, how disciplined he was with training them and how strict he was with them in preparation for Majin Buu, and how angry he was when they were wasting time, I definitely feel like Piccolo has always represented like that strict black father. Although there is a stereotype out there that black men are not always there for their kids, Piccolo, whenever he was there for the characters, he's often represented the strict black father who brings out the most out of his kids with toughness to prepare him for such a rough world. But when we move on to our next point here, guys, we gotta talk about more of a movie stereotype. And there's an ongoing stereotype out there that the black guy always dies in fiction more than any of the other characters out there. And when you translate this to Dragon Ball, Piccolo, along with Krillin, has actually died more than any other character throughout Dragon Ball.
Some bull.
And when you look throughout the history here, guys, Piccolo died to Nappa, Piccolo died to the future androids, Piccolo died when Kid Buu blew up planet Earth, Piccolo died in Dragon Ball Super when Frieza killed him when he was trying to save Gohan again, and Piccolo ultimately died in Dragon Ball GT to try and save the Earth from the effects of the Dragon Ball. So after looking through the history of the black guy always dies stereotype, Piccolo perfectly resembles that stereotype. And Carter, we would have to admit, bro, like the one black guy who represents dying the most in movies would have to be Samuel Jackson. I mean, there's no question that out of all possible guys we could use to illustrate the stereotype, Samuel Jackson represents the black guy who always gets killed. Even in Star Wars, where race doesn't even matter, he got killed.
Exactly, and basically what we're trying to say is, if there's a live-action Dragon Ball Z movie, Samuel L. Jackson needs to play Piccolo. Now that brings us to our next point, number 3. Piccolo has great survival instincts and street smarts. And for instance, when Goku gave up against Cell when he wasn't even defeated, to put his own son in, Gohan, who he didn't raise, Piccolo is like ready to slap Goku in the face and pointing out that like, hey, this isn't logical at all. Like, what are you talking about? What are you putting your son in there for? Your son's like half as strong as you. Like, this is ridiculous. And so Piccolo is often the voice of reason in crazy situations.
Right. And in terms of street smarts, what I also noticed about Piccolo is that in Goku's absence, it seems like Piccolo is always the go-to guy when it comes to leadership. Like if you go back to the Android arc when Goku went down with the heart virus, or if you go to the Saiyan arc when Goku was dead and somebody had to lead the Z Fighters in Goku's absence, Piccolo has often been like the guy that people always look up to when Goku isn't there. And it makes good reason because he often shows good street smarts, as you guys could translate to real world logic in terms of the Dragon Ball world. So definitely Piccolo is by far a character who I feel really exemplifies that. But when we go on to our next stereotype here, guys, this is the fact that Piccolo would be very good at sports. Now, there's often a common stereotype out there that black people are very good at sports, and Piccolo, if we take away all of the flying and ridiculous superhuman techniques that most humans couldn't do, Piccolo seems to be a character who would be good at sports. First of all, he's extremely tall, which means that in many sports, he would have a significant advantage just based off of his height alone. On top of the fact that if you were to add some of his inhuman techniques into the mix, Piccolo with his stretchy long arms would make an amazing center if he did play basketball. And in many cases, with all of his street senses, as we mentioned before, Piccolo's instincts would actually make him a great athlete. So if we took strength and speed and all of that constant, I actually think Piccolo would be the best person to be on a sports team.
And bro, you miss one major point, bro. He can clone himself, bro. He can be the whole entire team, bro.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, you gotta imagine like his ability to shot block, grab rebounds, you know, and if he's playing in football, he would make a great offensive lineman, like using stretchy arms or cloning himself to like guard more players. Like if you were to allow fictional powers to go into sports, Piccolo would be the most OP character ever.
He would. He'd be able to dunk from the other side of the court. He's passing the ball, and he don't even have to pass the ball in. He just reaches down to the other side of the court, puts the ball in the basket.
But ultimately though, Carter, when we factor in all of the serious stereotypes and all of the silly stereotypes, The greatest connection that Piccolo has to people of the African diaspora would have to be his connection to the Namekian people the same way black people feel connected to people of Africa. Would you like to elaborate more on that?
Yeah, man, you know, African Americans, just like Piccolo, were born in a different place away from where their ancestors were. You know, most of their ancestors came from Africa, just like Piccolo's ancestors came from Planet Namek. And in turn, there's like a disconnect, bro. And Piccolo isn't familiar with the Namekian way of life on Planet Namek, just like most African Americans aren't familiar with the African culture in Africa. So when Piccolo finally goes to Namek, you can kind of feel like there's a sense of pride and understanding when he gets there and he gets to actually meet his people and reunite, you know?
And to add more to all of what you're saying there, Carter, I definitely feel like in many sorts of fiction where we look at characters like Black Lightning, Luke Cage, Black Panther, there's often been like this call for like a black superhero to like kind of protect the black race. And when you look at Piccolo fusing with Kami or even fusing with Nail on Planet Namek, I always got the vibe that Piccolo was like the one true representative of like protecting his African people the same way that we've seen in a lot of works of fiction. And honestly, the way that Frieza and all of his men were hurting the Namekian people could often be looked at as slavery towards what a lot of people of the African diaspora have gone through, and Piccolo represents that hero who's trying to stop that, similar to Django in Django Unchained. So in representing that black superhero along with that lost connection to Africa, I definitely feel like that is the one thing about Piccolo that truly makes him feel like a black character in many ways. So ultimately, guys, these have been our 7 stereotypes on what makes Piccolo the black guy. I feel like this was a silly but also serious video that really relates to one of the core characters of the Dragon Ball franchise, and I had a lot of fun recording this. And I also have a big thank you to SSJ Carter for hopping on to do this video with me, as he was the perfect guest for this.
Hey, no problem, Q. Anything to help out a friend, bro, and get on here and just talk about how Piccolo is the black guy.
And if you guys love Dragon Ball parodies, SSJ Carter is the way to go, as I will post the link to his main channel as you can see here. And also check out a video I did on Broly Isn't a Villain that covers the genius of Paragus. And as always, stay cool and stay safe, my friends.